to do for COVID-19. Talk through your hat to kill your business, especially during COVID-19. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is to talk through your hat. Now, I don't know that I've ever talked through my hat before. I've definitely talked through a scarf. Living in Wisconsin, sometimes we have scarves around our faces and around our collars when we're talking. But if we want to grow our business, if we want to build our business, this is not an idiom or a practice that we would ever want to incorporate into our business. Talk through your hat means to talk nonsense. Talk as if you know something and you're talking about something as if you know something about it, like it's factual, and you know nothing about it. It's like people talking about politics. The majority of people that are talking about politics right now have no idea what they're talking about. The majority of people talking about COVID-19, including the experts, have no idea what they're talking about. They're talking nonsense. They're talking through their hat. And it's like being a weatherman. What other profession can you be wrong 80 to 90% of the time and still have your job? It's kind of the same thing with these scientists and these people and these experts in the position of COVID-19. Since we've never seen it before and we really don't know what's going on, nobody does, and we're figuring out as we go along and studying it. Very few people actually are experts in it. I'll never forget when it first started. It was probably April and the weather was getting a little nicer, and so I was out for a walk and I overheard a cluster of people, because that was before we knew about social distancing and masks and staying away from one another. We're listening to a gentleman at the park who, was obviously groups of friends that had run into each other at the park, and one guy was spouting off in a loud, boisterous voice about all these things that he had obviously heard on television, and it was ridiculous. Some of the things he was saying about the virus and expectations and everything were getting the people riled up and afraid, and it was all just nonsense. He was expounding nonsense. Have you ever met somebody that knows something about everything, and no matter what, they're an expert? No matter how much you know about a topic, they know more. Those people often are seen as talking through their hat because they don't always know what they're talking about. Now, this idiom is from the 19th century. It's a United States saying where we say people talk through the hat, meaning they're full of it. People like to blow smoke up our you-know-whats, whether they know what they're talking about or not. Usually because they've got a strong opinion or a strong feeling about something, and they want to convince the rest of us that we should feel the exact same way. Guess what? It's America, 2020. We still have the right to free speech, the right to think and feel what we want. And that means we also have the responsibility, because with freedom comes responsibility to think for ourselves, do our own homework, dig into the sources that we think we can trust, but lo and behold, we find out they are not trusted sources of information. They are propaganda proliferators, right? They're just spreading their opinion, their stories spun the way that benefits them. Everybody has got an objective, an intention, a reason for the things that they do. And it's up to us, buyer beware, listener beware, observer beware, to filter through and say, well, okay, what's their agenda? What's their intention? Why are they sharing this particular story at this particular time? Why are they sharing this story spun this way when I saw the whole presidential debate and that's not what I observed at all, right? That's just one example. So in our business, what's going to happen if we talk through our hat, or if we even give the inclination or the impression that we talk through our hat, that we don't know what we're talking about, that we're not the expert, that we're not the problem solver, that we don't have our customers' best interests at heart, and we don't really care about them? You know what? That will put you out of business faster than COVID-19. If people, and people are smart. I get so frustrated when people act like customers are, and people, which is people, right? We're all customers of something, aren't smart. We're getting smarter and smarter and smarter and wiser and wiser. And we're seeing through all the BS marketing ploys and games that people play, the mind tricks, the manipulation. We're smart enough to see through that. Our intuition, if we listen to it, will tell us every time when somebody is just flashing smoke and mirrors in front of us and trying to convince us to do something or force us to do something with fake scarcity and manipulation and deadlines and timelines and stuff like that. It's all nonsense, and the more people do it, the more marketers do it, the more fed up the rest of us get with it, right? I know none of us want to be manipulated. None of us like to be lied to or convinced or connived into doing something that isn't really in our best interest. Yes, sometimes you need to help people see that something's in their best interest, but only the customer, only the person knows, only you know what is right for you. So when you see somebody talking through their hat, just smile and walk away. You don't have to say anything. You can just know that you know, and they know that you know that they're doing their nonsense, and just behave the way that you want to. Just don't blindly believe anything that anybody tells you these days. And no matter what their position, no matter who they are, no matter how much expertise or nonsense they have behind, or how many titles they have behind their name, look into it yourselves, because a lot of what we're told is spun to convince us to believe it, and it's absolutely not founded on science, founded on fact, founded on anything real, except somebody wants to convince you of something. So I say, be loving, love being, be you, and you'll be okay. Have an awesome day. That's our idiom for today. Love to know your experience with this. Have you ever talked through your hat? I know I've talked through my hat sometimes. You know, it kind of leads me to the whole fake it till you make it thing. I think that's ridiculous. Act as if as you're becoming is different than faking it till you make it. If you're faking it, you're faking it, and you know you're faking it. But if you're becoming it, you're actually working on the skills and abilities and things that you need to do to achieve the thing that you want to achieve. Totally different things. All right, have an awesome day. I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how can you use it in your business today? Or how you maybe just shouldn't. Have a fantastic day. Bye.